live chat because I actually have never done one of these before on YouTube. I have on other social media, but it's been quite some time and I've had a little bit of a break in my videos. So if you are one of my followers on YouTube, one of my subscribers, then you may have noticed that I had set myself a 90-day challenge and I did quite well. I got up to about 73, day 73, I should say, and then I paused. So some family events occurred, and um, I did persist for a little while, but then I realized that actually it was an important time to just know when it's time to stop and to prioritize other aspects of life. So I did that, and but I'm now back. Today is the full moon in Virgo. It is an eclipse day, so it's been, what time is it now? Yeah, about 3 hours ago, we had a blood moon lunar eclipse in Virgo, and it was a total lunar eclipse, which isn't going to happen again for the next 3 years. So for those of you who follow astrology, or at least open to the idea of it, it makes it more potent, I feel, when it's a total lunar eclipse, because there's a complete obscuration of the moon by the shadow of the earth between the sun and the moon, which makes it very brownish orangey in color, almost like a sort of fiery color, and then it goes completely dark and then the light returns. And so symbolically, eclipses represent areas which have felt obscured or not revealed, coming to light, that things that maybe we had in our subconscious mind or that weren't immediately apparent to us, can become more obvious over this time. So it may manifest in your own life or in the lives of people around you in different ways and to different extents. So yeah, so for example, I have my rising sign, which is where the sun was rising at the time of my birth, in the sign of Virgo. So for me, this may feel particularly potent, or if you have your sun sign or other planets within the same degree around the zodiac wheel, it will form certain angles. So it can feel more acute in different aspects of different people's lives. So it affects us all in very different ways. And yeah, so this is quite new to me, because I haven't done one of these live videos on YouTube before. I don't really know how they work, and I'm now seeing that there's 16 people watching. I can't see who you are. Maybe I know you, maybe you're completely new to me. So hello, if we haven't met before. My name's Fiona. I'm a medical herbalist practicing herbal medicine in the Scottish borders here in Scotland. I'm sitting by the River Tweed. That's it there behind me. And that is the town of Walkerburn that you can see on the other side of the river. It's a really lovely sunny day, which is a bit of a rarity, but it's not completely unknown. I don't want to go on and on for too long, because I actually came on here with a specific purpose, but at this point I can see there's 24 people watching. So again, thank you for those of you who've decided to linger on this video and join me on this live call. Haven't done it before, but if you like it and you're interested, Dino YT says hi. Hello, Dino. Lovely to connect. Feel free to drop a message. I'm not really sure how this works. Like I say, it's the first time I've done this. And it's because I took a break in my daily YouTube Shorts posting for a few weeks now. So I don't know if you've ever started a habit, started strong, I kept it up for 73 days and then I dropped the ball. But it was okay because life happens. We had a bereavement in the family. I needed to be there for my mom and to be more present with cousins and so on. And hello, Anne Jones. You have left a comment too. Nice to see you. So yes, it's quite a strange thing, just speaking into the unknown, not knowing who's on the other end of the screen. However, so yeah, I'm a medical herbalist. I work here in Scotland for my local community, but also remotely for the international community. And I'm half Indonesian and half Scottish, so I do travel from one hemisphere to the other at different times of different times of year for different reasons. So when I'm over in Southeast Asia, I'm mainly there to support my family, but I do still support my clients by working online. I'm really enjoying the sunshine. I just got back from Indonesia a couple of weeks ago, where it's the equator, so it's tropical heat all the time. I'm never wearing jackets or things like this, but yeah, now I'm back and readjusting to life back here. And yeah, so the reason I came on is because I wanted to pull a card or share the card that I pulled for myself earlier from this oracle deck called the Druid Plant Oracle. And it being the full moon today, at the time of recording, it's Tuesday the 3rd of March 2026. And we've just had the eclipse that happened earlier today. It's middle of the daytime here, so of course I couldn't see it where I am, but I believe it was visible in parts of Asia and Australasia and things like this. Hello, Cedric. Hello, Ryprock Productions. Lovely to have you joining us. And yeah, so this is the card that I pulled. It's chamomile. It's a very well-known plant. Almost everybody around the world is probably familiar with this because you can get it in supermarkets, even in the tropics. As I said, I'm half Indonesian. I spend a lot of time in Indonesia and Malaysia. Actually, common plants, common herbs that you can get in your supermarket include things like peppermint, chamomile. But in the tropics, they don't grow as easily there, although peppermint might. I'm not sure. Peppermint's such a hardy plant. I can't imagine that you couldn't get that growing in Asia, but I think chamomile would be very sensitive in the tropics, and so hence it is available there, but it's extremely expensive in the supermarkets. So I do tend to, when I travel back to Asia, I bring boxes, your standard boxes that you get of peppermint and chamomile that you can get in your supermarket. A comment here says, pretty, a friend ate one of the whole flowers. Yeah, you can eat, they are edible. This is part of the daisy family. As you can see, they look like daisies. It's the daisy family, so sunflowers, calendula. It's also known as the Asteraceae family. So that's all part of that family. They're very benign. As you can see, they have this kind of very bright yellow center resembling the sun, which is shining brightly on my face, and these white petals that just radiate out their white petals. And so I'm drawing this in the month of March. It's the 3rd of March, so early March. We are in the season of Pisces. The sun is in Pisces. There are also a lot of planets currently in Pisces. We've got the sun, Venus, Mars, and Mercury. Mercury is also in retrograde. As somebody said, Mercury is in lemonade or in Gatorade or something like this, which I thought was quite fun. Yeah, so Mercury in retrograde. is notorious on social media for being this terrible time for technology and travel and so on. And I don't see it that way. I actually have my Virgo rising. So my rising sign is in Virgo. Virgo is ruled by the planet Mercury. And the fact that we have a Mercury retrograde in Pisces, by the way, but while we have a Virgo full moon eclipse, which is today, feels quite symbolic. And the fact that it's a full moon eclipse, which we're not having for another 3 years, makes it feel especially potent. And I pulled this card and I felt that I would share this with you because when we are going through Mercury retrograde, there can be things like messages that are miscommunicated. There can be problems with postals. There can be problems with travel. Things are picked, so there's cross wires. People, things get taken the wrong way, for example, and so nerves get frayed. And Mercury is a planet which also very strongly represents both communication, but also our nervous system, how our nerves communicate our thoughts to the rest of our body. And so as within, so without. We have the divine messengers within our body, that's our nervous system, sending messages from our mind and our thoughts to our muscles to stimulate responses. And so, yeah, so chamomile is an excellent nervous system herb. It really helps to calm our digestive system in particular. So, and very, very gentle. So it's, if you think about daisies, I mean, these are chamomile, but as I say, it's the same family. Daisies come out in the summertime, and children love to play and pick them. And summertime is such a time when children can feel safe to come out and play in nature and so on. And so there's something about nurturing our inner child when this card comes up. The softness and gentleness that chamomile brings to our nervous system and to our bodies. If you're feeling a bit headachy, if you've been on the screen for too long, been indoors for too long, chamomile it brings you sunshine in a cup. It brings the outside in a way. And whenever you have chamomile, I love to add it to all sorts of different types of teas. It goes, I believe it goes with everything. Wherever you need a bit of soothing, a bit of calming, chamomile is a great ally, particularly during a Mercury retrograde season. So we're Mercury retrograde until the 20th of March, which is the equinox. Equinox is when you have equal night and equal day. Yeah, so at the equinox, Mercury turns direct again. So from now until then, do be mindful of nurturing your nervous system. It's easy for tempers to flare over this time, and chamomile is a really calming ally to support you and support any of those sort of Virgo themes. If you are feeling overwhelmed, quite heady, sort of bogged down with organization, chamomile is a great ally for that. So I will leave it at that. There's so much more to say about chamomile. Is this a plant that you are familiar with? Do you have it in your kitchen cupboard? Do you drink it as a bedtime tea or to relax? I'd love to hear how you work with it. Maybe you grow it in your garden. This is a plant that is more commonly picked, well, not more commonly, you need to pick it in the summertime because obviously it's not going to grow in the winter. Right now here in Scotland we have snowdrops, and that's about it. I have seen a couple of crocuses, early crocuses, those bright purple ones, and the daffodil shoots are out, but they haven't bloomed yet. I've seen friends sharing pictures of the yellow daffodil heads starting to peek out where they are. So let me know in the comments if you've got daffodils starting to come out where you are. In the northern hemisphere, obviously if you're in the southern hemisphere, you are probably in autumn time, which I believe is a nice relief for those who've just coming out of a hot season. So you might be quite well stocked in chamomile, and that's something that's been harvested over the summertime if you are down under. All right, wishing you a very happy full moon. All the blessings for the rest of this Mercury retrograde. I'm also an astrologer and intuitive card reader, and available for reading. So drop me a message or get in touch if you'd like to hear more about those sorts of services. I also just recorded an energy update for my Divine Business Circle, which is a community for soulful creators to create momentum and grow in sync with the seasons and cycles of nature. If that's something that resonates with you, check out my profile or drop me a comment and I will send you in that direction. It'll probably be in the description uploaded here at some point. And meanwhile, thank you so much for joining me and see you in another video. Bye.